lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work, triple play, yeah.
This is Triple Play Fantasy Basketball. I am the host, Coach James Lewis. Actually, I start coaching this week, Doc. On the other end, Doc Mendelson.
Hey, Coach. All right, what you gonna have him press? What are you
Oh
gonna play
yeah,
on
oh
defense?
yeah. We
Two,
do a
three.
little we do a little diamond press. It works very well. We do it with a little 1-3-1, little flat action, little pack line, man to man. Defense leads the offense, and you got to make the bunnies for the runs. You know the game of basketball is runs, and hopefully your fantasy team is on a run over there wherever you may be taking us in. The trade possibilities, they open up December 15 with the players that sign in the offseason are eligible to get traded. I think that we'll see some changes, and with changes in rosters, obviously fantasy implications loom. And so you're not out of it just yet. You might have the guy that gets traded. You've suffered with one of the Pacers' big men, and Miles Turner finally leaves, and you reap the benefits. You never know what could happen. But for this week, if you got any of the Philly guys, I'm sorry. They only got 2 games here. Maybe Maxey gets closer to his rehab and getting back on the court. So the Anthony Melton owners, the time may be ticking for
No,
the swipe
no,
king
don't speak that evil. Don't speak that evil on me.
from a guy that cut him too early to the guy that picked him up and is reaping the benefits. When you get 7 steals in the game, I think he just won that category for the week. Like, how do you overcome that if you're playing against someone that does that?
Oh my gosh, that steals God. Herb Jones, move to the side.
Teams with 3, 18. Teams with 4, the lucky 11. Pickup candidates, as we see Bogdan Bogdanovic reaping the benefits of a DeJounte Murray injury. Mo Wagner, yeah. Big bro, stepping up big, playing with his little bro. I always love to see that when brothers play together. Quentin Grimes, 11% owned. You can find him anywhere. And Kyle Slow-Mo Anderson gets a repeat performance here. We give him a shout out, and he had quite a line this week. We'll talk about him. And just a heads up, Monday and Tuesday, people that play Monday, Tuesday back to back, you're winning your week. You're looking at the week ahead. You got an extra pickup. Think about a Grant Williams when he's not sending the ball into the stands and getting kicked out the game. He's a safe candidate that you could pick up Monday, Tuesday, and feel no regrets getting rid of him after that. But let's talk about Mo Wagner of Germany, Michigan. Now for the Magic in the last week, averaging 14 points, 8 boards, 2 dimes, 49% from the field, a steal, close to a block. He had 20 points, 13 boards, 3 dimes, 3 stocks against the Clippers. In the game previous to that, against the Bucks, 19 points, 12 boards, 4 assists. I know you don't watch too much Orlando Magic basketball, but Doc, what's your opinions on Mo, who is power forward center eligible in Yahoo leagues?
One of the things I think that's interesting about the Magic is everybody has their different time that they're shining. It was Paulo to begin the season, then Bol Bol had some shine, then Mark Fultz played a little bit, then Mo Wagner. What I really like is that we're seeing the rebound numbers go up, and he's 6'11" too. I think he's one of those kind of taller people that you forget how tall he is. But the December 5th, December 7th games, 12 and 13 rebounds. You know, that wingspan obviously gets you some swipes. The one thing that I think you have to caution is he's shooting 60.7% from 3 this year. So if you play in a categories league, you got to be okay with him, kind of sinking that.
And his brother, Franz, is a star. He's averaging 20 on the season. We saw what he was doing in that Eurobasket. And, he's the perfect complement with Paolo. And now he's getting to play with Big Bro. But if you picked up Franz Wagner this year, he's shooting guard, small forward, power forward, eligible, gives you 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He's a super solid pick. And I know the Warriors are regretting not only picking James Wiseman over LaMelo Ball, but Franz Wagner. They kicked Kuminga instead, so they're kind of scratching their head because they could use that depth right now. Bogdanovic, 63% owned, so it's harder to find him, but he was available in basically 50% of leagues just last week. He had a killer game against Brooklyn. He had 7 threes, 31 points, 3 dimes. He's filling in for DeJounte Murray, as we mentioned. He's a good off piece to stars, and I know people are like looking at him in the trade world, but right now he's a good fill-in. He's somebody that you need to roster.
I mean, this is a points league guy right here. Dude is averaging 2.2 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 0.8 blocks. He doesn't, or 0.8 steals, doesn't have a block on the season, and he's 6'6". That's disappointing. I'm 5'5", and I have 0 blocks also, James. Just a heads up. But what I think is interesting is Nate McMillan doesn't have a solid rotation down. We talked about DeJounte Murray getting hurt, but also.
Hey, why do you call him DeJounte? Because he has a U in his name? I always wanted to call you out on that.
Oh, you're calling me out on it now.
It's hilarious. Go ahead, continue. DeJounte. You must call him DeJounte for the rest of your life.
DeJounte, a little accent on there. But DeAndre Hunter and John Collins are out also. And what I think is interesting is, we thought AJ Griffin was going to be the guy that's stepping in, and Nate McMillan played him 6 minutes in the second half the other night. So I don't think they have a solid rotation in piece. Bogdanovic could be a starter. You obviously like the usage. 34 minutes last game, which was a season high.
And on the Griffin point, don't give up on him just yet. In the last 5 games, he's only went under double-digit points. One of those games when he had 9, 20 minutes, 29 minutes, 30 minutes, 35, 23. So he's still getting his reps, and he's hitting threes. And he's good for steals in all of those games. He has actually had 2 games where he had 3 steals. So AJ Griffin is still an option out there. We talked about him in previous weeks. Quentin Grimes is the beloved New York Knick, and some rumor that he was the piece of the puzzle that stopped the Donovan Mitchell trade. What are we doing here? I know they're regretting that. We're seeing how good the Cavs are doing. But Quentin Grimes is finally getting an opportunity. It's because he plays really good defense. And in the last 2 weeks, 10 points, 4 boards, 53 from the floor, 2 threes, a steal. So he's worth a look. And against Atlanta, he was definitely looking the part. 23 points, 4 boards, 5 threes, and 2 blocks.
This is his second year in the league. So what you like, he's getting more minutes. Scoring's going up. Field goal percentage went up. Rebounds, assists, blocks. So that's what you like seeing out of young players, is kind of them developing their game.
And he's summer league superstar. You saw him in the summer league. The separation that he was creating was amazing. And McDonald's All-American going to Kansas didn't go too well over there. And then he goes to Houston. He improved his 3-point shooting, and I just I'm happy for where his trajectory as a player has gone, because it looked like it wasn't gonna work, and then he just worked on his game, and here he is playing big minutes in the Big Apple.
Another reason for Thibodeau to not play Emmanuel Quickly. He's always looking for some reason.
And that's true. And Quickly's playing some decent ball off the bench. Kyle Anderson, slow-mo. We told you to get him last week. Only 2% of the world did. But then he averaged 12 points, 6 boards, 6 assists, a steal. Check this line out against Utah. 15 points, 7 boards, 12 assists, and a 2-and-1. That's 2 steals and 1 block. Shout out slow-mo. He should be picked up right now while Cat is out. He's not going to.
I can't believe we have to talk about him again. I mean, I'm not complaining, but people didn't listen last week.
No,
absurd.
Yeah, he's chill, especially in Cat's leagues. All right, pickup candidates? ? Tari Eason, maybe the swipe prince, since DeAnthony Melton is the king. Last week, 13 points, 6 boards. He's playing a little bit more minutes, and that's really all you need to look at, because when he does play, he gets hella steals. So what's your opinion on Tari preseason Eason?
I had a little bit of a smile when I saw in the notes that we were talking about him, and then that smile grew bigger over the week. And just like you said, he's getting more playing time, and that's what I had hoped. Steve and Silas are doing one thing correct so far. But the scoring is going to kind of fluctuate, but I love that he's giving you boards, especially in a categories league. He's averaging 5.4 for the season, but his last 3 games, 6, 6, and 10. The assists, he's 0.9 for the season, but like you said, steals. He had 3 against the 76ers. When you watch the Rockets, and I got to admit, I would probably watch more Rockets than most other teams in the league. They're kind of exciting to watch. They don't
Did
pass
you see Alperen Şengün destroy Zach Collins' life?
I did.
Holy shit.
They
That
ru-
was
they're
unbelievable.
the Rockets are like unorganized chaos. They're just like run and gun, and they don't pass the ball a lot between Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green. But they're like so fun to watch.
Yeah, that is interesting to watch going forward with that backcourt. And we saw how frustrated Christian Wood was last year. And I feel like Jabari has a little bit of frustration too, a little bit with like how the ball sticks in their hands.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're so hella talented. And they're a walking highlight between them. And it's good to also see Jabari's like getting his footing back a little bit because the beginning of the season he was just atrocious. And
Surround him with PJ Tuckers that shoot the ball 2 times in 42 minutes.
well, they don't have any vets in that locker room. That's also another problem. We'll move on. Jalen Duren, he's been featured on the show quite a bit. He really gets you points and rebounds and then blocks sometimes. But they got him starting with Isaiah Stewart, which we've been begging him to give him a look, to let him start a little bit, let him flap his wings, play some minutes. I mean, they're going nowhere. They're in that 5 teams with 7 wins or less. They're all in the Wemby sweepstakes. So why not play somebody that's going to be a big part of your future? And in the last 2 games he did, and he went double doubles with 10 and 12 against Memphis and 12 and 13 against the Pelicans.
And we got to highlight it because people aren't watching on the YouTube on the podcast thing. 80% over those last 2 games, 62% for the season. Like he's the definition
Yeah.
of somebody that's helping, not hurting.
Yeah, and he's physically ready as a rook. Daniel Gafford, he'll put you on a poster. Now, these stats are before yesterday's 11 minutes and 1 point and nothing against the Clippers. They were playing a little smaller. He couldn't get on. The Wizards have been experimenting, playing Gafford and Porzingis, and some of the teams that play bigger, like the Cleveland, it works better, and you kind of have Porzingis looming. But I mean, against the Clippers the time before, he had 20 points, 13 boards. I guess that's just Ty Lue making adjustment, 3 stocks. And then he had 19, 12, and 4 against Milwaukee. This is all within the last 2 weeks. So if you get the 1 dud and then you get those games, it's still worth it.
Is he?
Yes.
I feel like you're getting more dud games than you're getting good games. Like, okay, at Hornets December 2nd, 10 points, 12 rebounds, 6 blocks. Amazing. Then follows that with 19, 7, 2 blocks.
I like how
Then
anytime we have a Wizard on here, you just hate him. Like, are you a fan? Do you hate do you hate those guys?
Yeah, you know what? Maybe between not saying Dejounte Murray's name right and now trashing the Wizards, this is an epiphany for me.
All right, he's had 11 blocks in the last 5 games, and he had 6 against the Hornets. He had 10 points, 12 boards, 6 blocks, bro.
James, you're talking about the dud, but with the Clippers. But before that, 19 minutes and got 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 block. Like he's not playing consistent. He's playing 13.5 minutes for the season.
I didn't.
No bueno.
I didn't edit it, but so he's 43% rostered here, but since yesterday he's down to 20.
Oh, the stock is dropping
big time. We'll move on from a guy that goes up and down to some safety candidates. Jalen McDaniels, 38% rostered. I don't know how you feel about him, but he should be rostered in more leagues. I'm not going to say he's a bona fide must add, but with Gordon Hayward out, this is season stats: 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a 3, a steal, a little sprinkle of everything. And against Brooklyn, 19, 7, 3. That's rosterable. He's good for a 1-and-1, a steal and a block, 21 points, 5 boards, 2 assists against Milwaukee on the 3rd of December.
The only reason I can think of is that he's not added is like people just don't want to add Hornets. Like you just kind of feel nasty unless it's like LaMelo Ball.
It is funny, and that's interesting. But it's funny because his brother Jaden was getting all the hype going, into the season, and with the T Wolves kind of moving on from all the role players. It's funny because it's Jalen that's kind of been getting the McDaniel shine this season. Jeremiah Robinson Earl, 14% rostered. He's safe in that fact that he gets you some points, some rebounds. He's improved his 3-point, which it was like looking like he should never shoot that ever. Memphis 9-9 against Minnesota 14-7. There's nothing like too sexy about Jeremiah Robinson Earl, but you see like Poku's minutes dropping off big time, which I was on a Poku run for like a month. He was incredible. He's hitting threes and blocks, and it might be time to break ties with him. And Jeremiah Robinson Earl, power forward center eligible. You could do worse.
I just can't trust anyone on the Thunder besides SGA. Like, I don't. What are we doing with the rotation here? Like, James, I feel like you and I talk about a different guy each week. It's Poku. It's Jalen Williams. It's the law firm. It's Lou Dort. Like, what are we doing?
I have nothing to say on that, but the SGA thing, he gets to the line so much.
He does.
He had a game like last week where he scored basically 30. He made 4 shots and he made like 19 free throws. Like, all right, he be hunting the free throw line. I know he goes downhill, but I don't know. Should I use this time to start hating on him? I'm not hating on him. He's unbelievable in his ability
Continue. I'll allow this rant.
to
You're
go
allowed
downhill,
one.
but there's something about a guy going down. He also iced the Wizards out a couple weeks ago with a a 3-pointer to win. So maybe I got a little vengeance for him. But he's been playing unbelievable, and you picked him up. And I was gonna stay away from all the Thunder guys, anyways, for the reasons why you said, because you can't trust them. You never know when the shoulder injury is gonna pull him out for the year. But we'll see. We'll see if he ends the season.
Somehow he's progressed while OKC continues to tank. It's
Yeah,
like a real life oxymoron.
Which makes them very, very entertaining going forward as a franchise. And then you get Chet back, who knows what they get in the draft. Caleb Martin, he's still doing a lot of everything, and he's been hitting the 3 this week at 3 per game, but on the season 11, 5, 2 assists. This is a very similar stat line than Jalen McDaniels and similar rostering. But he plays a lot of minutes, and he can play with any versatile lineup. 17 points, 8 boards, 2 assists. He's been on the show before, too. So shout out Caleb Martin, who the last 2 seasons been on here quite a bit. Grant Williams. We talked about him. Maybe you want to pick him up for a Monday, Tuesday sweep, especially he got some extra time after getting kicked out of the game yesterday in the huge Warriors win over that, rematch from the NBA Finals, and Warriors playing 50, percent ball. But Grant Williams has improved his 3-pointer, and he shoots 56% on the field. Gives a little bit of everything. Regular Joe Harris, who did miss a game this week because of his ankle. The last 2 weeks, 12 points, 2.6 boards. 2.6 threes. He's a 3-point streamer guy. That's about it. Watch candidates. Of the people on this list, I'm going to send it to Doc. Who would you get out of Charles Bassey, Romeo Langford, Alexander Walker, who is Gilgeous Alexander's cousin, by the way? Fun fact. White Dante DiVincenzo or Corey Kispert. I know it's not Corey Kispert because he plays for the Wizards.
Oh, come on. That's just it's just laying it out for me. It's not Kispert because he's giving you some points, but that field goal percentage been a little bit Actually, no, I take that back. I'm going
take
Charles.
That back because he's hitting 3 bombs on your head.
Man, if Charles Bassey got some more playing time, like we talked about him earlier, and the Reddit community gave me a lot of slack for not having him in a show earlier this year. He's averaging 1.2 blocks a game in 15 minutes. He's shooting 71% from the field. Granted, he's only averaging 6 points, but 6 rebounds. Like, I just don't get why Pop isn't playing him more, and maybe if they do get rid of Pirtle at the deadline, like he's the main beneficiary. I can't. I would stash him because I think the upside here is better than the rest of them. What about you?
Give me Corey. Does he play for the Wizards? Yes. And in the last 5 games, 43 minutes, 32 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 31 minutes. All of those games were losses. But as the Wizards are going in the wrong direction very fast. But 2 of those games he had 4 threes. Maybe I'm
Wait,
just
Coach, I got a serious question.
I wouldn't. Don't pick him up, guys. I'm losing it. I'm
Wait,
just
Coach,
in
I got a
rant.
serious question. If Jeremy Sohan played for the Wizards, would you explode?
Yeah, because they probably wouldn't play him.
Dude,
So I would be very pissed. But here we are. Corey Kispert gets a shout out for no reason. Drop candidates, all the Lakers guards except for Russell Westbrook, who's playing really well off the bench.
did you intentionally misspell Jared Vanderbilt's name because you're so
Yeah,
you're
I'm
so pissed with him?
done with him.
I
Get him off
dropped
of there.
him.
And
I dropped him first, by the way. Then James dropped him.
yeah, we also told people to keep him at once upon a time, but Utah, they're going the wrong way quick too. And then Chris Boucher, who actually his last game he was decent, but before that he was like 6 straight games with single digit points. With the lineup to back with Siakam, Barnes, he's just not getting the same minutes. But if he gets anywhere from 22 minutes plus, he's a must candidate because he hits threes and he gets blocks and then rebounds and
Coach, I would not
points.
talk about Blocker Kessler, by the way.
I know. You know he has more blocks than Gobert in the season.
I know.
Ain't that hilarious?
Yeah. 305, 324. I mean, this sounds like phone numbers, the games that he's having with blocks.
Well, he's averaging like 6 blocks last year in college. So yeah, shout out to Blocker Kessler. I haven't heard that one. That's a good one. Tuesday, Thursday, these guys play the games that the other teams don't. So you might be able to get extra games if you're sitting there, Friday, you have somebody that's on the bench. If your guys include the Rockets, Bucks, Pelicans, Suns, and Jazz, there's also people that you could lean on picking up during the week where you can make up on extra games against your opponents. And we talk about weekend streamers. This is next week, Saturday and Sunday. The Wizards, I had to put John Wall here because yesterday when they were playing this has become a Wizards podcast all of a sudden. I don't know, but this is still my city. And it kind of felt cool. I mean, we love John Wall in this area. Sunday, Monday next week, Hornets, Lakers, Magic, Raptors, T-Wolves. So you're trying to win your league at the end. People from these teams, and then next week we'll bring this up next week. But next Monday, Tuesday, Jazz and Suns. But that's all we have here for week 9. Doc Mendelson, anything on the way out?
I promise I do like the Wizards, actually.
You really believable too with your Gafford and Kispert rant and all of that.
Don't forget about Denny from previous weeks.
Oh yeah, and Denny's still playing chills. So
and they're overpaying Bradley Beal. Can't forget that.
Yeah, blow it up.
I know.
Yeah.
It is time.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I have for you. I'm Coach Lou. I'll see you next week for week 10. Peace.